Hey, what's up friends, You Good Gypsy, and we are back here today for some more Draft League content. And it feels good to be recording. Haven't recorded in a while since my semis match for the MPL, but yeah, we're here, and surprisingly this is not the MPL or the ITL, as you guys can tell by the drafts. This is actually the CPC, so this is a league that I was affiliated with a very long time ago. Like years ago. I played in the off-season tournament. It was being run by some of my friends, and yeah, I haven't played. I think I played in CPC season 3 was the last time I played, and it's now season 5. So it's been a while since I've been involved in this league, but yeah, definitely a fun league to be part of. A bit of a background, like the story behind why I'm actually involved with them now. A friend of mine, Paul Phalop, you guys all know Paul. Well, you probably know him better as Phalop. He actually drafted this team, and he's really busy at the moment. He's not so like into Mons right now. He's kind of just lost his drive a bit, which I totally get. And yeah, he's pretty busy with real life. He's writing a thesis, so yeah, he's a busy man, and he wanted to take some time off from Mons, and he hit me up wanting to know if I'd be interested in taking over his team. And I thought, why not, with MPL coming to a close, ITL approaching playoffs. Yeah, it's pretty much no drawback to just have another league on the go and more content for you guys. I know I've been getting a lot of love on my videos lately, so it's pretty cool to see you guys enjoying the content that I'm putting out. Hopefully you'll enjoy the CPC. So the team we have inherited from Paul is very fun. This is a big factor in the reason why I was up for it. His team, the team that I inherited from him before I made any changes, was Celesteela, Latios, Crocodile, Decidueye, Ninetales, Alolan, Greninja, Lantern, Lycanroc Day, Coughing, and Charizard X. So this is a pretty sick team. We got Z-Move Celesteela and Z-Move Lycanroc. Lycanroc is a pretty interesting mon. I'm pretty excited to use that. Definitely has a lot of potential as a Z-Move holder. But yeah, the main drawing card of this team, obviously you see my boy Sally chilling at the front. But Charizard X. I haven't used this guy since, like, I literally haven't used Zardex in the format for years now, I'd say. But I did use it in the off-season tournament, and that's where the whole Lizard affiliation came from, everyone. Nowadays, I don't know if they know, but it was because we used Zardex back in the day, and it's going to be very fun to use him again, because it's a mega that whilst I've wanted to try him out in other leagues that I've been involved in, but especially in this gen, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So it's pretty cool to have it in my hands once again, and it's a pretty awesome team. Supports Zard really nicely. Paul did have Ninetales on his team, the Alolan form, which sets up the Veil, but I actually did make a couple of trades because I wanted to kind of add a bit of bulk to this team. I do like a bit of balance, and I felt like it was lacking some really nice sponges. So I did end up dropping Ninetales. Reluctantly, I did really enjoy the kind of utility it brought to the squad, and I think it is a really good mon, and it's going to be very fun to play with at some point. But I just felt like it was the mon that I had to drop to obtain the points I needed to pick up the mons I did end up picking up. So I dropped Ninetales, and I dropped Lantern. Lantern, another great mon. Just didn't really see myself bringing it to many games. I also dropped Coughing. So Coughing is a nice goat, LC mon, but in return I picked up Licky. So my boy Licky, pretty stoked to have that guy back on the team. Definitely a fun mon. I love using that mon. Got Mesprit as well, so nice bulky psychic. It wouldn't be a Gypsy team if it didn't have like 3 psychics on it. But we also picked up Mariana, I think I'm pronouncing that right, the pre-evolution of Toxapex. This is a really solid like 1-point budget mon that I discovered recently, and whilst looking over some mons to draft in like a draft tour, and yeah, it performs as a pretty decent mini Toxapex, and can bring a lot of support to the team, as well as giving me a grounded poison type, which the team lacked up until this point. So it can help deter my opponents from bringing T-Spikes against me, because that's pretty nasty to any team. And the last one I picked up was Hippopotas. So Hippopotas is a really nice little fat ground type, and it gives my Lycanroc Sand. So for 1 point, it was a nice little bargain. So right, those are the changes that I made to the team, and yeah, pretty excited to use this squad. Definitely fun. Has the Celia, has the Zard. Crook is a mon that I've wanted to use for ages, never actually used it in the format, so pretty hyped to be using this guy. And Latios is obviously pretty cool mon too. Greninja, I've fallen in love with it in the ITL, so yeah, pretty hyped to have that thing as well in this league. So the team we're rocking today, we're facing off against the guy called DD Qyad. Don't really know too much about my opponent, but I've been told that he moved up from the CPC D League, so shout outs to him for that. Regardless, he has a pretty threatening team. He's got the Clef Chomp combo, which is pretty common. I've seen that a lot in the format. He's also got stuff like Mega Houndoom, which is a pretty big threat to my team, as well as like Roserade, which is always a nuisance. He's got fat stuff like Gastro and Xatu, which just lose him a ton of momentum, in my opinion, but they are, decent checks of stuff like Greninja. Xatu can bounce back hazards. Kothag is a bit of a pain to something like Celesteela, but apart from that, the rest of my mons kind of take it on pretty nicely. Closer is a threat that he's used pretty well. I think he got like a reverse 6-0, or not a reverse 6-0, but he got a reverse sweep in his last week's game with Closer, so that's definitely something to watch out for. It's something that I've prepped adequately for, I believe. So jumping into the team, we just got a nice Scarf Crook. Scarf Moxie Crook goes in versus him. Got a really solid like fat DD Qyad set, as you're gonna see. Pretty nice mixed defensive Selly for this matchup. Nice like defog 3 attacks Lati. I believe I'm like Rocks 2 attacks healing, which Mesprit, and I'm a Scarfed Greninja. Scarfed Greninja mainly here to check stuff like Scarf Chomp, as well as +2 like a Shell Smash Cloyster. I can blow it away with Grass Knot whilst outspeeding it. So that's gonna be the team. Pretty quick team builder. But jumping into the game, potential leads from his side. He's got 4 potential rockers in Clef, Bishop, Garchomp, and the Cobalion. He may opt to lead with Xatu as well, because it does like immediately prevent my Mesprit from setting up rocks. Although preventing rocks coming up on my side will be pretty important in this game, as I do want Zard healthy to be able to take on stuff like Bishop and the Cobalion. So I'm just going to lead off with my Celesteela, expecting him to either lead off with Cobalion, his Garchomp, or his Bishop. I didn't think he'd lead off with Clef. He's shown a tendency to run like Spidef, like Max Spidef Clef in a few of his games, so I didn't think this would be his rocker. I felt like if anything it'd be Cobalion or Garchomp, but we're going to jump into it. He's going to lead off with his Bishop as I lead off with my Silly. So here, if you let off with Cobalion or Garchomp, I got nice damage off, which gives me information about their sets. It also lets Zard clean later on with Dragon Dance easier, but he's actually going to lead off with his Bishop. He's going to switch out here, I guess fearing the EQ, as I do fire that off. And Xatu is an interesting switch in here, because it doesn't really do anything back to this Selly. I'm just going to go out to Zard to scout for like the Life Orb, or like Specs Heatwave. I don't know why he switched Xatu into to Selly, because if I was like offensive Heavy Slam, he just did nothing back to me, especially as he does reveal to be like a Tailwind Nightshade set, as you're going to see here. So I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw here, just to scout his spread. If he's Rocky Helmet, I want that information now, so if I'm like chipped down later on, I make sure I roost up, as opposed to just attacking recklessly and potentially getting knocked out by his helmet. He hits me with a Nightshade. It only does 27, and he takes 50 from the Dragon Claw. It takes 51, so pretty nice damage off on this Xatu. I'm just going to roost up here as he does U-turn out. So he's got a Tailwind up, and even if I had Dragon Dance there, I would have been forced out by this Garchomp, as Tailwind is up, giving him a +2 boost to speed. So roosting there was my play. Preserving the health on Zard is important for potential SD Life Orb Bishop later on, although he has shown a tendency, I don't think he's ever run Life Orb on his Bishop. So that's good to know. It's probably going to be like a Sash or like a Dreadplate variant, but he is going to go into his Chomp here, and I'm just going to go hard out into my Mesprit. This is one of his Z-Mons, so I'm expecting potential Z Firefang for my Celesteela. I don't really think Z Draco makes a ton of sense versus me, as +2 Firefang cannot kill Selly. And if I'm like Hidden Power Ice, I put it in range of anything on my team. Z Firefang is what a lot of people tend to bring versus Selly teams, as Selly just walls Garchomp's other stabs. So he's going to go for the SD here. Now we guaranteed Chew, even a +2 Outrage with my defense investment. So he's going to go for the Dragon Claw there. We chew that, and we put him into range of anything on my team with the Ice Beam. He's going to 2 KOS there, which is like nice for him. Means I don't get rocks up, but honestly keeping rocks off my side is more critical than getting rocks on his side. His team isn't really affected that much by rocks. This is probably Magic Guard, resisted, like chipped, and then Xatu takes 75, but he's at 50 at the moment. He's going to die to Zard. Zard's looking to go in. If I remove this Garchomp here, he really has nothing to take on Zard. So I'm just going to click Pursuit here. I am Scuff Crook. He does attempt to switch out, but we trap him there. So that's really nice. Now nothing can really threaten my Zard, unless he's like unaware T-Wave Clef. But he's now going to go into his Cobalion here and get a crit with this X-Scissor. This reveals he's not max attack. He's got some attack investment, but he's pretty, like, I figure this would be a pretty bulky Cobalion. Potentially an Ockerberry variant, to maybe hit me with a T-Wave or a Stone Edge, hit my Zard. But he does go for the X, so he gets a crit, which is unfortunate, but it's not going to matter too much. I'm going to go for Hidden Power Fighting here, as he only takes 30 from that, so this is definitely a Assault Vest. This is really good news for my Zard though, because this means I can just set up indefinitely versus this thing. It can't really touch me, as you're going to see here. So we're going to go in and set up a DD, as he's going to try and hurt me with the close combat. Zard chews that up, and it's 30. That's a 120 stab base power move. You know, I did 30. That's ridiculous. Zard's going to DD up once more, as he does go for the Volt here. So he's going to go out into his Clef here. So we're just going to blow this thing away with a Blitz. If he was unaware, I only did like 50, but Moonblast didn't kill me after recoil, and I could just roost up and continue setting up on this thing until he ran out of soft boils. So Clef drops here. As I said earlier, he had shown that he really likes Spidef Clef, and given Latios is a pretty decent threat to his team, like at matchup, Latios looks like a massive threat, bar Bishop, and if I take out Bishop, like Lati can potentially win if it's like Spec Psychic. So I think he probably was more Spidef Clef able, so like it wasn't even a roll there. Clef just dropped to +2 Blitz, as now he's going to bring in his Roserade. I'm just going to scout what he wants to lock himself into. He's run Sash Roserade before, and if he is Sash, he definitely won't be able to knock me out. Even a Life Orb Sludge Bomb can't knock me out from this range of health, and I do think he's HP 5 given that I have a Celesteela on my squad. So I'm just going to roost up here, and his Sludge Bomb does 44, so it does under half. That's pretty solid. We take him out here with a Dragon Claw, as now his Bishop is going to come here. Now I'm just going to roost up, as he potentially may have gone for the Sucker there. I lose nothing by roosting up. If he wanted to SD, I still tanked a +2 Sucker Punch from that range of health. And his Stone Edge does 47, so this is he's not a Life Orb set, which is nice, as Zard can really just take this thing on. I'm just going to knock him out here with a Blitz. I calced, and I was at a range of health where I was going to always live the Flare Blitz recoil, so didn't have to mess around with potential Stone Edge crits there. I just take out the Bishop, and now nothing is really safe from Zard, so I'm just going to go for the Dragon Claw, take out this Xatu, and then roost up on this Cobalion to get Zard at a range of health, where it will be out of range of recoil from this Flare Blitz, because differential is pretty important at this stage. I did inherit a team with a 1 and 2 record, so 1 and 2 and a -2 differential, so I'm already in the back. So obviously, you know, getting differential will be important if I do want this team to make playoffs. So we get a nice 4-0 win to start off the season, and pretty nice to see Zard put in the work game 1. Definitely nice to be using this thing again. So that was my CPC week 4 match. Pretty fun to be back in the league. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like and tell me what you thought of the match in the comments. Definitely go and check out my opponent. I'll leave his link in the description. And yeah, go and see his side of the match, his perspective, all that good stuff. And thankfully replays are back, so I will be uploading my ITL matches from week 3 onward. I had to stop at week 2 because the replays went down, but yeah, replays are back up now, so that's pretty hype. You'll be able to see the rest of my ITL season thus far, so that should be coming soon. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and tell me what you guys thought in the comments, and I'll catch you guys next time.